I think you want to drop your
I'm not going to speak for long today because I know that people are keen to get back to their houses and stuff, and I think chill out after
it's gone again.
All of the heat and everything like that.
It's got to be
I guess heat stress
what happens when you stop using it, recharge?
We're just going to have to get used to.
The electrical stuff.
Another 5 minutes.
Yeah, I get you.
Not just in summertime,
it's got to be a battery.
Hey Pete, sorry, we'll have to use the backup.
It's your battery.
It must be.
Did you charge it?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But for some
ever
reason,
done that before?
it only went for like 2.5 hours, it seemed to be.
Testing. I don't know if this is working or not. It doesn't sound too good.
Yeah, it's working.
You hear it? Okay.
But he's got to hold it a bit closer to his face.
Ironically, one of the things we've seen in the north,
Pete, up close.
The north of this continent. Thank you. Thanks, Richard. Thank you. Ever reliable, font of knowledge and wisdom, and that's one of the great things about Speakers Forum, isn't it? You know, you can come here very informally on a sunny Sunday afternoon. I say sunny because most of us have been hibernating over the winter. It's been a bit too cold.
Maybe, I don't know. I did charge it up last night.
You can savour a wide menu of ideas and philosophies and people from all kinds of interesting political and philosophical and ideological perspectives. And if it's not your cup of tea, you can always you know, go back to the library or hop, skip and a jump over to Subway to have a drink or something. You know, it's very informal, very casual, and it's a great way to create some real, genuine, direct democracy. Something that I guess in our highly mediatised, hyper-mediatised postmodern society, we've in many ways lost a lot of that sense of the ancient Athenian notion of the demos, of sort of direct democracy, an assembly of ordinary citizens, not the aristocracy, not the nobility, but everyday people, you know, just discussing democratically the ideas of the times, as Normal put it before, you know, in a brilliant lyric with his chorus there, it's getting hotter all the time, and it's so true, you know. Our society is facing one of the great problems of the age in climate change. This is going to really test the strength of our democracy. How are we going to solve the problems that we're seeing up north? A whole city, a whole civilization, in fact, has basically been completely brought to its knees in a very short period of time. They'd already been contending with statewide flooding. They'd already incurred mammoth multi-million-dollar losses in produce, etc., in the rural areas, only to find that even the peri-urban and metropolitan parts of Brisbane and suburbia were to be tragically equally inundated. I guess there's been quite a bit of talk, quite a bit of analysis on this issue over the last short period, but I think it is important for us to try and make some kind of retrospective analysis of this contemporary dilemma that is really confronting the very essence of our way of life. As an environmentalist, what can I offer to the people of Queensland and now tragically the people of
Western Victoria.
Wimmera and northwestern parts of Victoria in particular. What can I possibly suggest as some kind of amelioration to their sorry plight? What can you say to a family that have lost their whole house, that has just been washed away in a torrent and ripped off?
That's another thing, Richard.
Who would have thought that
If you don't have lots of people arguing amongst themselves, no one listens. But when you have arguments,
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
you notice the crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't have arguments for 3 hours. You've got to have a bit of variety.
You've got to.
If you have a lot of sparks going backwards and forwards, it attracts people like sparks.
You've been here, Richard.
Yeah,
You've seen it when Alan was alive. You've seen, and the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Precious
Yeah, they love conflict.
Her family
They want to know what's going on.
They don't like agreement.
The most
No,
to her,
no.
that symbolically represented a sense
I'm
of
fascinated. He's got
an
two hats on.
intergenerational continuity in that family
Well,
unit.
that's not a sun hat.
She bravely rushed
Too
back
small.
into the house, only to be completely
Hey
inundated.
Peter, they're making some derisory comments about your two hats.
Only to be drowned,
It's not a drover's hat.
trying to retrieve that sense of some kind of continuity for her family. I found that particular
Looks like a card shark.
story,
Yeah.
but, very, very moving. What about the children who've been orphaned? How do we explain to children that their parents who were driving back from their humble workplace to try and salvage a few things of the family's possessions so as to make life that little bit better for the kids
shouldn't do
after
the
the
creeping
flood had
Jesus.
subsided?
No,
How do we
the creeping
explain to
Jesus,
those
he
children
starts sort of
that their parents
walking around
are
them.
now
I'm not
no
worried.
longer
As long as they
alive,
look like a
and that
virus,
they
yeah.
are
To sort of make this guy feel like his
basically
time's up when it's
awful.
not. He's only been going for like about 10 minutes.
What do we say
Draws
to the elderly
your
people
crowd from both angles.
who must be totally bewildered?
Well,
They
hold
were-
on,
they
but
were
Peter-
elderly people's
Peter,
homes,
Peter.
and they had to be instantly removed.
So, Mr. Speaker,
to the edge of town,
so, Mr.
to higher
Speaker,
ground.
Mr. Speaker,
Otherwise, they
Mr. Speaker.
risk dying.
He's just got to finish
what
his
do
sentence.
you say to those people? Now, don't ask the rhetorical question. What do you say to those people?
To those people who have survived the imminent risk of perishing in the face of this horrendous, calamitous, unprecedented environmental catastrophe.
Mr.
I
Speaker,
think what we need to say to
Mr.
them
Speaker,
is that we who
Yeah, let him
have
answer
been
the
I want to ask him
relatively
something stupid.
untouched by this
Mr.
Let him
Speaker,
answer
tragedy,
the poignant
we
question.
actually care about them.
what
We
Oxford?
actually give a damn. We
Mr.
actually want to do something
on, wait
practical
till he finishes.
to try and improve their sorry plight. And the first thing I would put to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that we need to dig deep.
A tax levy.
We need to.
A Julia
Indeed,
Gillard
indeed,
tax levy. Is that what we need?
Indeed, as the leader of the opposition said in the face of the horrific disaster with the fires only a couple of seasons ago, whatever it takes, money doesn't matter. Whatever it costs.
Whatever it costs the Australian
Don't worry about
taxpayer,
how much it
according
costs.
to Julia
These
Gillard.
people have suffered so much. They've been through this horrific tragedy, and I guess we have been fairly lucky in this southern city. We haven't
On behalf
really
of the forum, I'd like to thank you
experienced
for bringing
that
that
level
back
of
up today.
flooding in living memory. If you
Okay.
speak to old timers, they'll tell you that back in the old days, back in the early parts of the last century, there were some horrific floods, not just in Victoria, but in many of the states. There's always been the risk of flooding